Hello, good morning. I don't know who I'm saying hello to. Probably nobody there. First sign of madness, isn't it? Talking to yourself. Second sign is answering yourself. Anyway, not so much of a rant today, really. I just been up to see a mate of mine. Who's a bit of a tech guy, lovely guy. Dave Jones, and I got to get a proper microphone and a second-hand computer that works. So if you know anybody who's got a second-hand computer, they want to sort of give me because I don't use it anymore, or sell it really cheap because I'm a pensioner, see. As long as I can plug a microphone into it. I'm after a decent microphone, and it's called a Rode podcast mic, or a Rode pod mic. Rode pod mic. That's what it is, right? Because I've got a bit now on YouTube, and I'm going to go on to X as well. Well, I don't want fame, I don't want fortune, I don't want nothing like that. This is just a chance for me to say some of the things perhaps you might be thinking about, or just I'm going to whinge, or just celebrating something, or being nice, or whatever. You know what I mean? It could be about the state of the country, it could be about the state of the Welsh Assembly, the UK government, the European government, Trump and Putin, because I'm sure them pair are brothers by different mothers. You know what I mean? They're very much alike, the two of them, right? Some of the things that Trump says, I agree with, about all the European leaders being spineless, which they are. You know what I mean? Anyway, I'm going off a bit now, and I don't want to have a rant. So what came up this morning was, drink and drive limits. They're dropping it from 35 down to 22. What they should have done is saved themselves a ton of money and dropped it from 35 down to zilch. Nothing. Zero. Finito. Right? Shouldn't drink and drive at all. Or, drugs. They can do tests for drugs, but they can't ban drugs because certain people, the richer lot, are making a ton of money from drugs. You know what I mean? Then just, your local sort of riff-raff and scumbags and all the rest of it out there making money from drugs. It's the ones you never see and the ones you don't hear of that are making money from drugs. You know what I mean? And we shouldn't be gentle with those people at all. Even if you've got to build another prison in the middle of the Outer Hebrides or somewhere really bad, bleak, like Senny Bridge in Brecon. Change it from a military training ground to a punishment ground, you know what I mean? And just stick them all down there. I know I'm going and give them breakfast in the morning. Porridge, that's all I can have, porridge. Dinner, porridge. Tea, well, give them a bit of fruit or a bit of veg in, but I mean a bit, you know what I mean? And if they start performing, the big hoses you used to have on the wall, for putting out fires, they should just put that in through the cell, soak them and their bed in, open the windows, have the windows electronically controlled so they can open the windows, especially this time of year, and that will quiet them down. It will. We've been too soft, too namby-pamby in this world. You know what I mean? And in this country especially, health and safety. I know you've got to have some health and safety there, yeah, you have. But not to the extent that we've got it in this country. In Switzerland, they should have had a bit of health and safety, and perhaps all those young kids wouldn't have died over Christmas or the New Year. Do you know what I mean? That was sad, wasn't it? Really sad. But they didn't go far enough, and we've gone too far. Anyway, so going back to drink driving. Yeah, zero. Everybody knows where they stand then. Do you know what I mean? If you have a drink, whether it be a pint, half a pint or whatever, some people might say, oh, because I don't drink, right? And it's not just because of that. I mean, I used to drink and I used to go out and have a good time and follow the rugby and get sloshed and all the rest of it, you know, done all that. Don't need to do it now. I can't put up with those hangovers and feeling shit for a week after, you know what I mean? And as you get older, you start to feel that, and all the youngsters say, I don't know, you've got to go out and enjoy it. Yeah, you have. But you haven't got to get absolutely blind drunk and drink every short and mix every short behind the bar, because that's what makes you ill. If you stick to beer, lager, champagne, I don't know, pony, whatever it is you drink, right, then that's fine. But then all these Sambucas and spirits for this and that and all the rest, don't tell me you have a good night, because half the time, if you're like me, you can't remember the night. That's all you do is wake up the following day with a pocket full of change, because you couldn't be fat-assed about to count it out. You just give them notes, wouldn't you? You know what I mean? So you always tell how sort of good a night you had, but you couldn't remember nothing and you had a pocket full of change. Anyway, going back to the drink driving. No, drink driving, finished, finito, zero limits. Everybody knows where they stand then, don't they? You know what I mean? What was the other thing? Oh, driving tests. About time. I passed my test years ago, right? And I took my class 3 and done my class 1 and was on the wagons for years. And never took my bike test. Good job really, because I wouldn't be here talking to you now if I took a bike test. I was mad enough in a common car. But that was on a racetrack, or I was rallying. You know what I mean? Did I ever speed on the Queen's highways? Yes, we all do. Every single one of us. Every single day. Whether you're 2 mile over the speed limit or 10 mile over the speed limit. We all speed. We all do wrong. Now, what did I say on the one chat? We all live in greenhouses. You can't throw stones at anybody. This 20 mile an hour speed limit, outside schools, outside hospitals, severely built up areas. Yes, I agree with it. Yes, it makes sense. But not in some of the places where they got 20 mile an hour speed limits on these little lanes and different things. I mean, Jesus Christ, if you were doing 30, 40 mile an hour and you can't react quick enough for another car or lorry or whatever, then you shouldn't be on the road. It's as simple as that. You shouldn't be. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people, they look at the road right in front of them, within the next sort of 5-10 metres. You should be looking way out ahead. Anticipation. That's the key. Right? You know, a lot of rally drivers, you know, they are looking so far ahead. All right, they got a navigator on the side of them now. Didn't when I first started. And if you did, you didn't have the headphones and all the rest of it, but they'd be calling out different things, different degrees on bends and all that. A lot of it you take in, especially with me, a lot of it you don't. I done a rally a couple of years ago in Spain with my brother, 6 years ago now, was it? Something like that. And the team I was in, it was myself and my brother, and just giving you a little rundown now. And it was a good mate of mine then, Warner Lewis, and his brother-in-law, and they had an ex-works Celica 185. And in the other team was nobody other than Johan Kankinen, 5 times World Rally Championship in 5 different makes of cars. And who was sat beside him? Our little Welsh best navigator ever, Nicky Grist. So, and we was all in Celica 185s, or they had an X-Works car as well. Did I have an X-Works car? No, I had a GT4. Celica 185 GT4. That I we rebuilt the engine, new turbo, new quaif box, all this sort of stuff. And it was about, I don't know, 300 brakes, something like that, right? Very quick off the mark, because I had put a restrictor on the turbo, and I had a different gearbox on it and all the rest of it, so it was very quick over a short top speed. I only had a top speed of 110. But anyway, and my brother was navigating, and he'd spent some time with Nicky learning different things and that. So when we was doing the rally, did I listen to him? No, only when he screamed or something by the side of me. Oh, you know what I mean? And I'd be doing, oh, I'm keeping it quiet. But yeah, and yeah, he did. He was on par sometimes, and I knew what he was saying, and I knew what was coming up, and other times he wasn't. So I just had to, as we used to years and years ago, you drive to what you can see. You know what I mean? So you've got to anticipate. Look at the edge rows, look at this, look at that, and see what's coming up and all that. Anyway, I'm going off the subject a bit now. So that's just a little brief thing about my history, one of the things I've done. Because I've done quite a bit. For an old man, I have done quite a bit. Anyway, never been good at any of it. Otherwise I wouldn't be sat here doing this, wasting my time, would I? Anyway, so, yeah, so drink driving, zilch. Should have altered the test years ago, because at the moment, the way it is now with all this theory stuff, theory is okay. It is. But watching a little screen and trying to anticipate on air, I bet you majority of drivers out there who pass their test and consider themselves as really good drivers would go on that computer and do that test and they would fail miserably. They would, because you've got to hit that button at a certain time and all the rest. It's a load of crap. You know, there's only one way to learn. Practical. Get out there, do the job. Now they're going to extend it to, I think it's 6 months or something. Fine, good. Let's have some safer drivers on the road. You can do a bit of theory regarding the engine. You can't do much in the engines these days anyway. That's all you can do is change the screen washer bottle, check your brake fluid, check your tyres, which you should do on a regular basis, especially this time of year. And then check your oil. Get your car serviced regular. And that's it really. There's not a lot you can do underneath. Years ago we could fix a car on the side of the road with a pair of tights or whatever, or an egg if you had a leak in your radiator. You can't do all that no more now. You know what I mean? Cars are getting safer-ish. They're getting too fast sometimes, in my opinion, as well. Because a lot of people out there have got these fast cars and don't know how to fucking drive them. And they really don't. Right? Anyway, that's that. So, what else? Oh, the weather. I had a talk the other day doing about severe weather. Beast from the east. Snow bomb. All this and that. Well, apparently now, tomorrow, beautiful day today. Yeah, nice. Blue skies. Bit of wind out there, but beautiful day. Tomorrow, Thursday, and through into Friday, we're supposed to be having a temp of snow. I bet we only get about inch. You know what I mean? But we're having a temp of snow. So if you're doing your shopping, go out and do it today or first thing tomorrow. Alright, you don't want to be driving around on Friday, you know what I mean? Especially if you think you've got a 4x4 and you can go anywhere. Spoke about that before, because half of them can't drive come with 4x4s, and the 4x4s anyway, most of them are shit because they just got normal road tyres on, so they get stuck anyway, just the same. Just make things a little bit easier. What else? Oh, yesterday I went for a swim. Well, I didn't go for a swim at all. I went for a dip. Yes, because you couldn't swim, because the ice, I'm not joking, was that deep, 3 to 4 inches, and I got witnesses. It was 3 to 4 inches. That's not exaggeration. Up the Keeper's Pond, it was windy, it was sleet, it was rain, it was snowing, it was audible. But when I got up there, I noticed this object on the grass. It was a sauna. A sauna. It was like not an inflatable one, it was like a tent, but it was a sauna. And 2 girls got out, which was quite nice. because I knew I had somebody there. And I didn't mean quite nice in a sexist way. I mean quite nice to have company there. Pack it in. I shouldn't have said pack it in. Anyway, and then the third one came out then, and it was a friend of mine. Yeah, he use that term loosely because I've only met her twice, 3 times now. Zoe Naughty. And she's on social media everywhere. Lovely, lovely girl. Must have more swimming costumes than anybody on this planet, because every time you see her swimming, irrespective where it is, and she goes all over the country. She goes to places that you wouldn't believe. You know what I mean? Some of the places she go to are absolutely stunning. Some of the places she go to, I think, Zoe, should you really be there by yourself, babe? You know, she goes up to North Wales and she finds these, you know, you shouldn't be doing that sort of stuff, really, unless you got somebody with you, at least one person, preferably 2 people with you. You know what I mean? And a phone and a torch and all that sort of stuff, because it's no other thing you can say is dangerous. All right. So Zoe, please take care, lovely girl, if you see this. All right. But yeah, they had a nice chat with them, and they got in the water, and you know, I mean, when you see big macho men going in and screaming like a bunch of babies, and then you see these girls in there, and I mean, Zoe does it every day. No matter where she is in the world or in the country, she does it every day. She's absolutely brilliant. I know somebody having sort of took her on to write a book about swimming places and all of the adventures she's had and all. I don't know, but they really should. So, well, that's it then from me today. Really. Yeah. Stew tonight. Yeah. Beef stew tonight with dumplings. You can't beat a couple of dumplings, can you? Huh? Nice dumplings, eh? So I got a stew tonight. Cooked it yesterday in the slow cooker. All the way through yesterday afternoon and yesterday evening. Put it back on now today. So tonight now, a couple of dumplings and some nice uncut bread. Plenty of butter on. It's gone out the freaking window today. But I am fasting. I've got to go until, I don't know, 3-4 o'clock. And I've done my 18 hours in. So it helps a little bit. That's all I've had this morning is a ginger lemon tea. Listen to me, you know, like I'm some fitness guru or something. No, I'm not. And I had a cup of black coffee at my mate's place. And that's it. Am I hungry now? Oh yeah, I'm hungry. But I'm not starving. We don't know the meaning of the word starving, do we, in this country? Having said that, there's some sad kids out there and probably some people that can't afford to eat. You know what I mean? So I don't think we're all okay. So anyway, that's it for now. How long have I been on? Oh Christ, 18 minutes. So yes, and as I always say, look after yourself, stay safe, be nice, swim free, swim strong. What do I say? Bon voyage. If somebody could tell me what that means, I picked it up in the army somewhere. Bon voyage. I haven't got a clue. It could be something nice. It could be something disgusting. I don't know, but I mean it in a nice way anyway. So bon voyage. Love you all. Stay safe.